And again, we've been dealing with the aftermath of a natural disaster and the man-made dimensions of that natural disaster, but let us not forget that we also have a problem of human-made disaster, a problem of economic disaster, an economic disaster that is being made worse or compounded on a daily basis by the abuses of the Trump administration, by the bills being proposed and enacted in Congress, by the failure of this administration to enforce the law rigorously against Wall Street. Look, let's be honest. The last administration, the Obama administration, was extraordinarily lax on Wall Street, gave Wall Street a complete pass for the historic crime wave that took place leading up to the 2008 financial crisis. But Trump has taken that negligence and turned it into a torrent of responsibility avoidance. And this has all taken place under the leadership of a predatory banker, a foreclosure of widows, a classic bad guy who is now the Secretary of the Treasury, Steve Mnuchin. Steve Mnuchin was in the news recently when his wife had something that was described in the press as a Marie Antoinette moment. Steve Mnuchin's newest wife, his third wife, actress Louise Linton, had a meltdown on Instagram. What happened was that she posted about a day trip to Kentucky in a United States government airplane. She put a picture of herself and her husband as she was getting off the airplane, dressed, as we say, to the nines, and with the hashtags nicest people, beautiful countryside, Roland Mouret pants, Tom Ford Sunnies, Hermes scarf, Valentino rock stud heels, hashtag Valentino, hashtag USA. Now, people were so rough on Louise Linton, the wife of the Treasury Secretary, that I almost felt sorry for her. And I felt as if perhaps she had no idea why people thought it was such a terrible thing for her to do. So I thought I would enlighten her in the spirit of comradely helpfulness. And so I wrote an open letter to Louise Linton, which I will not read to you in its entirety, but I did start out, this has undoubtedly been difficult for you, both as a person and as the wife of a public figure. Nobody likes that onrush of hostile intention on the internet, but perhaps it would be helpful if we explained. Simply put, you live in a bubble. Now, she has, just so you know, she was born into a wealthy Scottish family, educated at prestigious school for girls and private college. Her family owns a castle. She does not seem to be aware that that is not the ordinary experience. She also wrote a memoir about her life as a teenage volunteer in Zambia that had to be withdrawn because she painted Zambia as a lurid, strange, hostile place with 12-inch spiders that it doesn't have, and wild animals walking in the streets, which it also does not have. And she wrote that she was seen as the stranger with the angel hair. Now, it turns out that the only angel hair they speak of in the capital city of Zambia is the one that is served at the 5 Italian restaurants rated most highly on TripAdvisor, especially Fresco Bar, which is praised for its quote, unquote, great food and vibe. Now, there's much more that could be said about Louise Linton's gaffe, but I will say this. These people live in such a bubble that they do not understand what the lived experience of this world is like for the vast majority of human beings. The Trump administration and too many people in both parties, frankly, are isolated from the suffering and struggling that goes on in the world today, and it's up to us to educate them and then replace them.